Hi, I'm Evan Pantazi. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. We're answering our questions as much as we can. I do travel a lot, so if there's a slight delay in answering, please pardon that also. I have a lot of questions, so I would like to take my time and go through them and answer them with a video if possible. You can see that there's quite a few questions that come in on a weekly basis, so I'm trying to keep up, doing everything I have to do. This one was on the back of the knee knockout on one of the monkey targets from the Bubishi. If you don't know what the monkey target is, I just suggest you watch this video. Just look it up. It's there. And the question came in from a Mr. Thompson M. And he said, I'm sure the blood vessel is not across but horizontal, talking about the blood vessels that I was talking about striking in here. And we went on to a little conversation. I didn't really understand his question at first. He clarified it, and then I said, because I was talking about the blood vessels across here. Okay, and he thought I said the blood vessels do come across here. I was pointing out earlier this nerve and pushing on it and saying there's nerves in here, but across this section there's also some vascular tissue. So not that the vascular tissue was running across, that's what I said in the video. However, there are some blood vessels that do run across, so I'm going to answer both of those questions he may have had. He said you said the blood vessel is across, however, it's untrue. The vessel and the nerve are horizontal down, okay? And I just talked to him about the way I was describing how the blood vessels were, there were a bunch of blood vessels across this whole area. And some do run this way, but there are some that run horizontal as well. So when I said that to him, he said, really? It'd be interesting to know what the Bubishi states. Or it'd be interesting to say that the Bubishi states it's this crease artery and the nerve runs all the way up and down. Now, you know, the Bubishi never stated that. It was the author of that particular book. Now, there's several copies of the Bubishi out by several different authors. Now, one of them in particular decided to add that in, but it wasn't in the actual Bubishi. It was just a monkey target and some other statements about it, but not the neurological or structural breakdown of the human anatomy. And like I said here, the Bubishi, it's the author's notes that were interjected, not the Bubishi itself. And I just wanted to show that there are arteries that do cross, and let's go to this program right out through here. All right, we'll see the back of the knee here, and let's peel off the skin a little bit. Now we have the nerves, and this nerve here, and let's get down, let's get rid of the muscle too. All right, this nerve and this nerve are the ones I pinched, and I said there's a whole bunch of artery or vascular tissue across this section between this nerve and this nerve, and there they are. That's the vascular tissue, and there's some horizontal vascular structures as well. So we can see that there is quite a bit going on in there. These arteries and veins are not the ones we really target, but yeah, I mean, I'm punching right down in through here when I punch. So you can see I'm getting maybe one or two nerves, whether my fist is more over to this side or whether it's more over to this side, and also the vascular tissue. Now I'm trying to strike right in the middle because that's where most of the heavy vascular structures are, along with this heavier nerve right in through here. And this nerve here is the tibial. And we'll go into this branch here, which is the medial cutaneous. So we can see that these nerve structures, it's a big one. The tibial nerve is a huge one. This is, let's get into here. This is the vein here. Excuse me, the artery, and this blue one is the vein. And yes, they are the popliteal. See, I even have struggle with this medical stuff. So this is the vein. And this is the artery right in through here, the femoral artery, and it latches into this. And this one up here is the femoral vein. So we can see that, yes, there are some lateral or horizontal veins and arteries that run across, but that was not the targeting. The targeting is here, and I was only explaining this structure right here. So putting the muscles back on, you can see that getting to some of this structure over in here is a little more difficult than on the outer side of the knee. And if you watch my fist in the film, you should see that I'm hitting more center, but a little over to one side where there isn't as much muscle mass right in through there. Let's take this muscle off again. So we'll be striking more or less in here, but this is the target. I don't come to the inside of the knee because there's much more muscle and tendon in this area, and they're not as easily accessible. Now, to end this video, I just want to go back and say there's a lot of people that don't believe that this stuff is real, and they call it bullshito. And look at, some guy even comments on the fat practitioners, which is just a infantile statement to make. But we have a lot of them saying this is all fake information and it won't work and stuff like that. And all I can say to them is, you haven't tried it. Okay, obviously you haven't tried it. Now this one is not an easy target. Okay, most of the targets that I use from the Bubishi are not easy targets to strike. It does take a lot of times. This in particular, I must have tried hundreds of times before I started getting it to work, and then I started refining after that. And I've done probably maybe, I don't know, about a dozen knockouts using this. Now I knew I wasn't going to go and punch this. I would be kicking it, and I've tried it with kicks as well, and it works. The kicking is a little less controlled, of course, because you have more control with your hands, and that's why I punched it instead, because we had a video crew there watching this and videoing it, so of course you don't want to miss. So I activated with my hand, which was easier for me. But you can use this in many different ways, and I don't want to really get into it now. I just wanted to get into the anatomical structures there, so you understand the underlying structures. And yes, there are horizontal vascular tissue. So when you're reading a book, it's one thing. If you're watching a video, it's one thing. But if you research everything you can get your hands on, including anatomical books, anatomical diagrams, even like programs like this, then it would be worth your while to really do that. If you're interested in the Q show, if you're not, and you're just interested in the sport aspect or the block, punch, kick, traditional kind of aspect, that's your thing. But these anatomical structures are there. They were called out by not only the Bubishi, they were called out by many different masters, from Funakoshi to Matobu to Fujita to Ohan Soken. There were so many. So I hope that answers your question, and we'll talk to you later.